You can hear us? Good? Good. So, I don't know if is Lene able to hear?
Hello,
Hello,
I can hear you.
Lene. Okay, we're about ready to start the meeting. We needed to have a quorum, so they're gonna get started as soon as the filming gets, as soon as he gives us the sign.
It says on air.
On air, we're ready? Okay.
Okay, we'll call this meeting to order then. And I get confirmation.
Turn your mic on, red button.
Am I good? You got me now? Okay. And can I get confirmation that the Kansas Open Meeting Act required notice has been provided?
Yes, it has been.
Okay. And we'll do a roll call.
Okay. Chair Grinter. Vice Chair Godsein.
Present?
Commissioner Canales.
Present.
Commissioner Kuchel.
Present.
Commissioner Rivers.
Present.
Commissioner Africa.
Okay. With the roll call done, now I guess we can approve the minutes from the last meeting. If I get a motion on the floor to approve the minutes.
I move that we approve the minutes of the Tuesday, December 13th, 2022 regular meeting.
My second.
Okay. We have, I guess we passed the motion to approve the minutes. We're good. We got two people. All right. And I guess we'll move on to.
Was that a vote then? Did we take
Yes,
a vote?
ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Yes, ma'am. So we'll move on to the new business.
There was nothing
Any
on
new
the
business?
agenda, and
Okay.
I don't believe there's anything.
Okay. And administrative items or public hearing items, actually? Is there anything from the public?
There is no public hearing scheduled, and no one's present to do that. We have one person for the end.
Okay. And what about administrative items?
We have the docket review, and you should have all received those in your packet. We'll go over briefly without disclosing a whole lot. We had, let's see, we have one that's possibly going to be appealed that we did have a most recent confirmation finding or finding of probable cause is up for appeal. So that one is still going on. She originally had put it in closed, but it is actually going to be appealed. So that will still go on a little bit. Maybe we'll see. You know how it goes with attorneys. But so that one we have two that I anticipate. I don't know if they'll get to the commission before our next meeting, but two that are pretty close. We're kind of wrapping up two of them. And then we have two that are a little ways out that are still pending. And those are all for housing. Everything that we have right now is housing. We haven't had any public accommodation or employment cases come in since our last meeting. We had since we do our dockets not by the calendar year. So we're actually over halfway through ours because we go, and I think it has to do, that's the way HUD kind of runs it. So we've always ran them that way. So since the beginning of this docket season, we've only had one employment inquiry and that's it. So everything that we talk about has been housing related cases. That's it. Unless anyone has any questions, I imagine, like I said, that there are two that I imagine could possibly come to you before the next meeting. The other one or two are probably a little ways out. I don't anticipate them coming. You never know, but I don't anticipate them coming before. We're hoping to conciliate one of them so it could go away and never come to you, but we shall see.
And we've still got just the 7 or 8 commissioners that can.
Yes, we. Marissa, what are we at? 6 or 7?
We are at 6.
6. So if we do, it'll probably be 3 and 3. We try not to give, if there are 2, like we had the last time that we're together, we try to not, like, you get 2 of them. We try, and if your name is drawn once, then you're drawn once. And so we try and divide that work a little bit. But we shall see.
Kind of like jury duty, just wait for the letter in the mail.
Yeah, probably not. Hopefully not quite that bad. hopefully it doesn't take it. And it is a little more accommodating in the sense that you don't have to be here.
Right.
That's true.
That it can be done that. But we appreciate all of your help on that. And we still have the one case that we haven't heard back from the Department of Justice, that they're still under advisement from them. So we're waiting. We tried to follow up on that, but right now it's it. But we are on track to close the same number of cases as last year, which is what you get paid for is when the cases close. So instead of the opening, what you really get paid on is when they close and what status and where they, how, whether it went through. So we're on track to be like we were last year. So we're still moving along. We could hopefully get a few more, but
Yeah.
we shall see. So I don't know if anyone has any other questions. It's hard when we have to kind of be discreet and not go into too many details, but that's about the status of them.
I appreciate your guys' support and reminders because sometimes it can get difficult, with all the stuff that we're doing. So that's a really helpful
Okay.
way of at least keeping me on track to continue. I really like the work, and sometimes it can fall on the back burner.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the reminders.
Yeah,
Thank
we
you.
try.
Keep them coming my way anyway. It never bothers me. It helps me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to the discussion of goals, accomplishments, and completion of the annual report.
Yes, and this is what we try to do is provide you some guidance and some suggestions, but it really is up to you on what you want to do. So we kind of go back and look through previous years and come up with it. But it is, your ball game. You're the commission. So we've made some suggestions here. I don't know how you'd like to proceed. If you'd like me to read those, if for the record, or if you want to, if everyone's read them, or how you want to proceed with them. But we've come up with 4 for the accomplishments and 3 goals. And just a reminder, we'd like everyone to know that when we're doing the Fair Housing Seminar as much as possible. So, but that was kind of just the other item. But it is open for you all. If anyone has any suggestions, any corrections, additions, we are open to it. Again, we just tried to look back at what's previously been done and kind of model that and give you some suggestions, a place to start. But I don't know how you would like to proceed. Commissioner Godsey, if you'd like me to read, or you want to read them, or
I can go over the
okay, yeah,
the accomplishments. Reviewed discrimination cases. We participated in the 2022 Fair Housing Seminar with a booth. We helped promote the Citizens Law Enforcement Review Board and designated a liaison to serve on that board. And we promoted social justice education in the community by supporting the Dana Adams Project 1983 and Salina Juneteenth. So some upcoming goals. We like to promote more social justice education in the community by supporting Juneteenth and other organizations with similar missions. Work with community relations staff to promote fair housing and ensure non-discrimination in employment and public accommodation, and make revisions and updates to Chapter 13 of the Salina City Code. And then, of course, the next Fair Housing Seminar scheduled for April 28th of this year.
yes,
It's coming up.
yes,
It is.
quickly. Yeah.
So is there a lot of revisions and updates for Chapter 13? I mean,
We're looking at that. I would say, yes, we're looking at probably doing a more major one. It hasn't been updated since 2017, and there's some things. And we're in the process now of I'm working on making suggestions, and then it'll go through internal review, and then we'll present to the commission and kind of probably have a study session on it once we do it. That would be my guess, since I haven't gone through this whole process yet. That's kind of what I'm understanding is it'll take some work after we have those proposals. I'm making some recommendations based on, just after we've been here a year and things change, and maybe what might make it smoother in the consideration phase in how the more administratively, more some of the details for procedures. So then I would say a major, some big shift. But I think that is something that it is on our agenda because it hasn't been looked at in so long. There are a few things I know that need to be revised in there, just protocol wise. And then while you're at it, take a look. And so that's what we're at. I'm having that. We have a strategic planning meeting with the department tomorrow too. And that's one of my goals that we'll be talking about a little bit is, where do we see that going? What do we want to have a discussion? Is there any anything major, but a lot of it is just detailed protocol stuff that might make it easier
Right.
on us and everyone else.
Very good.
But that, so for me, it's a major project because it's pretty time consuming to go through the detailed edits. But then I think I would envision a study session this year for it to have time to really dig into it and discuss frankly and pros and cons, and depending on how much the commissioners want to get in the nuts and bolts. Some people are really into the exact semantics and some aren't. So, but that's what I see is, but there are other things. I don't know if you have any other objectives or goals or what your thoughts are.
I did have a question. We do still have a liaison on the Citizens Law Enforcement Review Board. Who is that?
Chair Grinter, yes,
Okay.
he agreed to do it again. So we do. If that's something
Great.
you're interested in, you could probably let him know for next year. Because I think he's been on a couple of terms maybe.
Okay.
So if you're interested, I'm sure he would
Yeah, I think that
do
was.
that. I think it was his
Year,
second
right?
It
term.
was a year.
Yeah,
I
it's a
think that's
year
how we
thing.
did it.
Yeah, but I think he's on his second
Yeah, I believe
term
so.
of it, if I remember. I think he was on it when we started, and then he continued on this time. And I don't remember when they switch. If it's the same time as the board, like the new board starts September 1, right? Is that right? I think it's around September 1. So I don't know if it's that same time or if it's a little bit before that.
Okay. Not
They
that-
send us out a notice and
Okay.
say,
to
yeah.
if somebody's interested. Not that I want to give us any more work to do, but is there any other community boards or, that we should be kind of in touch with or a part of them?
There are none other that have been brought to my
Okay.
attention for this board.
Okay.
I don't know, the advisory board, maybe some others for them, like the accessibility board, because of their accessibility issues. There's some other commissions they might
Yeah, but
be on, but I am not aware of any that really fit. And I don't want to create more work for people because you're already volunteering and you never know when we're going to ask you to do a case. But
okay, sounds
at-
good.
yeah, at this point, I can't think of any unless someone else that's been here longer can. I don't know if Chairman Godsey has any.
I don't have any. I
Okay.
can't think of anything. Not that would really impact what we're doing now.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And we're always open to any other types of projects. And if you hear of any, like the Juneteenth celebration and things like that, it's, just by sometimes chance that you find out about those good fits for us. So,
Yeah, it always seemed like our contacts at K-State had the best prospects when it comes to the diversity and inclusion type trainings and
Yeah.
opportunities.
yeah.
They were, and Kansas Wesleyan as well.
Yeah.
I wondered about if there's anything, like you had mentioned that we have mainly housing increase and not as much employment, and I'm like trying to understand a little bit of that in raising awareness, or like, I don't know.
Well, that is one thing that we are looking at too is, housing is our focus. We do have the contract with HUD. We do not have the contract with the EEOC to do those investigations. So it is a little different. And if you're filing an employment case as a plaintiff, usually you want to go to federal court, and to get that ticket to go to the federal court, you have to file with the EEOC and the Kansas thing. So a lot of people will probably utilize that route versus coming to us, just from being on that side of it. It's not generally where you would file with the local commission, because what you have to have the ticket to go to federal court is you have to do file and dual file and
I
get
see.
stuff to that. So the employment one is a little different.
It's a little, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little different. And a public accommodation, again, I submit we don't get many cases because we work them out. Like usually when we call someone and say, hey, before we file, there's this, they usually have complied. So we haven't had too many, and there aren't that many historically. The average, we just did it, is less than one a year. So we don't get one every year. We did not have one that was filed last year, and generally they conciliate. So they don't go knock on wood, they don't go as far. Not to say they couldn't, but
Right. I see.
so that
typical.
it is not has not been our experience. So
Okay.
so that one, so I think that's kind of why, and that's one thing we're kind of discussing and bring forward when we talk about the revisions. Is there anything maybe we could do to help on that, and streamline that a little bit? And we'll bring forward again. I would envision during a study session instead of the full commission, but to discuss it more fully, the whole chapter 13. But I'm still working my way through it. So, and it's a lot of stop and start. So, I start on it. It is one of those projects for me anyway that I need a good chunk of time and to, stay seated and not have phone calls and look at it and relook at it.
Whole event.
Yeah, and it's something. So when other things bump it, I have to restart a little, but I do have a pretty good start on it. And then I'm the first step, and then it'll go to the internal department review, and then it'll come to the commission.
Okay.
And then what this commission will make recommendations for the city commission is actually the one who has to do it because it's in code. So we aren't able to, we can only recommend as this commission to the main body, if that makes sense. So,
Right. Is there any other, I don't see any other unfinished business or other business. to
no,
defend
and I guess just did everyone approve the goals, or did they have anything to add? And I don't know. We kind of been neglecting.
that. Do we need a motion to approve the goals?
I would think so, just so this is everything, or if they have any corrections. I don't know if Commissioner Rivers, we kind of seem like I've been talking to them and have ignored you a little.
We
No,
know
I'm
you're still
fine with the way it is. Like, I think they sound like it's a good review and good goals as well.
Okay.
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve the goals for 2023?
I move to approve the goals for 2023.
I'll second.
Okay, with two that we have approved to approve the goals for 2023?
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Okay.
And then so we have the last thing would be
The
we
update.
do have a, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, the update on the 2023 Fair Housing Seminar.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
That was what I had as 3.3.
3.3.
Oh, I missed one, didn't I?
Yeah.
My apologies.
You're fine. I just wanted to remind everyone, of course, I like to say it as much as possible. It's April, what do we say, 28th?
Yes, ma'am.
2023, all day at TPEC, the event center. And we are looking if anyone on this board would like to volunteer to be at the booth. And you don't have to stay there all day if you just want to come by and watch some of it. I mean, we encourage commissioners to come by and participate as much as they would like. And just if anyone wants the booth, next meeting will be our last meeting before the event. So, no, we'll have the April meeting. We'll have 2 more meetings before the event, but be looking for anyone that wants to come by and help with the booths, because we'll have one for the AAB and one for this commission too. We'll try and do a display, and we got some new marketing materials for that, so we're kind of excited to put those out. Anyway, that's our request. If this commission, that would be a good thing. And, you don't have to stay the whole day. If you can only do an hour or 2 hours or whatever you would want to do that day, we would love to have your volunteer help.
Do we need to register for that or just pop in?
We would prefer to register just so we know, and we know what's covering, kind of know. And if anyone wants to do lunch or if anyone wants to register and participate in the full event, we are trying to keep track of the numbers. The meals are
Right.
the biggest expense really for the event, so keeping track of who's here for what is my biggest.
Okay, perfect.
It's our biggest challenge, I guess.
Yep.
So
Okay.
Okay.
anyway, but it's all on track. We have the speakers, we have the agenda. It's moving forward, so
Looks
we
good.
feel, we're feeling like it's pretty good. And next time we'll try and share with you maybe the agenda a little bit, so you guys can see it in advance. If Marissa can help me remember that, we'll try and remind ourselves to actually show you the agenda next meeting.
So I have a question about registering for the volunteering.
Yes.
do we go through the same registration?
If you just email me what times
Okay.
you want to do it and when you plan to be there, I'm fine with that. You don't have to do the registration on website. If you want to attend, yes, please do that. Or if you're planning to do a lunch, please go through the website so we can, keep track of all that. But if you just want to come by for an hour or two and volunteer at the booth and see what's going on, just
Yeah.
let me know.
Okay.
And we'll put you on a schedule.
All right.
We don't have guards there, so it's probably easy to slip in and slip out.
Well, whenever there's lunch, that's how I like to approach
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Really?
And if you just want to come for lunch, it's $10. So, and they do a pretty good job for. You have to eat at their event center and stuff, and I think the event center has, they have good food.
Mm-hmm.
And we do try and go for the desserts because I am a dessert person. So,
You got me there.
yeah.
Speaking the language.
Yeah. And we've had a sponsor that wants to do the desserts, so the last couple
Nice.
years. So, yeah, one of the sponsors is like, can we be the sponsor for the desserts? I'm like, yeah. Sure you can.
That's one less thing to worry about.
Yeah, and that way you make sure you have, a choice of desserts, right?
That's great.
That's always best.
Yeah. So that is all we have right now on it. And unless anyone has any questions on the seminar coming up, we would just like to encourage people, if you can, to join us and,
Okay.
even if it's just for a little bit.
You said just email you.
Yes,
Michelle.
yes. If you aren't going to register to actually attend it, just email me that you want to do the volunteering, and we'll make up a schedule and make sure. And we won't turn anyone away if we have overlap, but
Just answering questions on what we do, kind of.
yeah,
Is that
and
what it is?
well, it's just having the promotional material out. We have some banners that we've made, and then which I don't know if they're in our office now. If you go by our office sometime, they have the freestanding banners that say just stuff about discrimination on it, and then preventing discrimination, and then we have pens and some things to kind of help people remember that are useful, like pens and some tablets, and then informational brochures we'll have out if anyone has questions, and just having a presence kind of there.
Yeah.
And I think the events that have those booths and sponsors tend to start building upon themselves. We should have a few more. I don't know. We have several sponsors that don't want to do booths. They don't want to participate in it, which we're fine. We'll take the sponsorship, but we still are kind of wanting to have more booths and things for people to see on their breaks, to kind of walk around. I'm not sure that we have a ton of questions. Mostly it's, could you have some brochures? That's probably the hardest question that is there is, do you have some brochures on this? And so we'll have the brochures that we have available there that are ours, we have in our office brochures from other entities in the community, but we'll have our brochures there, the ones we use most. And that's probably the biggest question.
Okay.
I don't know. That's it. But the booths do add an element to an event. So we're trying to get more booths there.
Okay.
Should be able to have an answer for you by this
Okay,
week.
that's fine. We still have a few months, but
Yeah.
I like to knock stuff out early.
yeah, I like to have those kinds of things on my calendar. They tend to sneak up on you.
Yeah, they do. Okay, and that was it for the administrative items, I believe.
That was it.
Okay. So we'll move on to, I don't see any unfinished or other business.
No, unless someone else has that, we did not have anything that we knew of on the agenda.
Okay. What about the public forum?
Well, we have one person joining us today, and I don't know if she's there for a reason or this would be the time for her if she has a comment or wants to say anything. Ms. Meyer?
I really don't have any comments. I'm just wanting to learn more about the Human Relations Commission and what your responsibilities are and what you do.
Okay.
It's still kind of foggy for me, so I'm interested in the concept. I just don't have a lot of understanding about what you do.
Well, we
That's
are
all.
always looking for new members too. So you're always welcome to apply or come into our office, and we'll be happy to visit with you more there, Miss Meyer. Is it Miss Meyer?
Meyer, yeah.
Okay.
Lene, call me Lene.
Okay, Lene, we're happy to visit with you more, answer any questions. Our biggest thing is stuff that isn't really public because we do a lot of casework, which is kept confidential, and we don't publicize all of the cases. We do provide for our dockets, if you look at those, a list of the cases that are pending and the different stages that they're in, but we don't list names on those. So cases
Yeah, I
that are-
would be interested to come in and learn more about that because, the whole concept of the cases and all of that and the end results of those cases.
Well, we'd be happy to entertain you anytime, Miss Meyer.
Okay.
Except I
Thank
will
you.
warn you that I am out for meetings, but Marissa and Spencer are there in the office, and they'd be more than happy to answer your questions too, and are more than capable.
And the phone number, can you put the number in the chat? I may have it somewhere, but I don't know.
It's 785. Marissa, can you help me out? Because I didn't bring my business card down here.
785-309-5745. And I just put
309-5745.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll look forward to hearing from you, and we'll be twisting your arm to join this commission.
Well, I don't know about that, but I want to learn more too. I believe in the concept. I want to better understand it.
Sure. I think the biggest thing is just looking into complaints of discrimination. That's the biggest concept and what people look at in those 3 different areas right now, and how we can better educate the community about their rights.
Yeah, that's where my heart is drawn. I want people to be treated fairly, for sure.
Okay. Well, we look forward to having you.
Well, I'll see about giving you a call.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, so I think that's just about wraps it up, doesn't it?
I think so.
We got the next meeting is going to be on Tuesday, March 14th at
Correct.
5:30. Okay, so I guess a motion is on the table to adjourn the meeting.
I move to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right. Any objections?
Hannah's driving away at this point, so meeting adjourned.
Thank you for joining us too, Hannah.